Hey, welcome to the Future Sales People Sales Round Robin. I'm Andrew Voislavic, joined by my co-founder, Alex Guest. Alex, say hello.
Great to see everybody again.
Today, Alex, as you know, in the weekly round robin, we can cover a variety of different topics. And just to refresh our viewers, that could be the latest on revenue research, best practices, news, business acquisitions, etc. And this week, Alex, can you guess what we're cooking up by chance?
I can guess because you gave me about 15 minutes of prep on this one. I like the format. I appreciate it. I think it's going to be fun and dynamic and you keep me on my toes. But I think you should explain it to everybody at home.
Well, yeah, no, I appreciate you throwing me underneath the bus on that one too. But the theme of this week's Sales Round Robin is on New Year's resolutions. So what a better time to start thinking about the future and doing better moving into 2021 after such a lovely and fun year of 2020 and COVID. So let's hit to it, Alex, because this is, I think, the quintessential part, right? Is every year people keep talking about these New Year's resolutions, and I'm curious to see what some of yours are. I saw one or two of them in advance, but a lot of people talk a big game about New Year's resolutions and then they fall flat within that very first week of the new year. So hopefully you don't have terrible ones. I know mine are really good, and that these are actually practical applications that people can apply these revenue resolutions to themselves. Alex, are you ready? I think we're first up with you.
Yeah, I'm ready to go, and I'm interested to see how people feel about who wins this one, because it is a little dueling banjo.
Well, this is a dueling banjo. That's right. So, folks, in the comments below, go ahead and let us know whose resolutions you like the best, whose makes the most sense, and who's probably drunk at this moment in time. So, Alex, we'll see who the winner is via comments.
Sounds good. When you gave me 10 minutes of prep time, or 15, whatever it was, so I went for more punny applications of revenue resolutions for 2021. The first one is lose weight. And what I mean by this is, as an organization, as a functional leader, whether it's marketing, sales, customer success, you can trim out some things that are underperforming. Maybe that's people, maybe it's technology, maybe it's processes, but making things easier on yourself, streamlining things, being lighter weight, more nimble, something where you can pivot as needed. 2021 is going to be a big year. Obviously, 2020 threw us for a loop. So staying on your toes and being able to quickly move and change for whatever 2021 throws in your direction as a business, I think is going to be important.
It's funny, you mentioned, and maybe you're intending to be punny here because your entire resolutions are punny in nature, but to lose weight and more easily pivot, right? So if you lose weight, you're more agile, easier to move faster, change directions. That just really resonated with me too. So if you have less complexity in your sales process, less complexity in how you hire, less complexity in how you sell, then you can change things faster. So I certainly appreciate that. I dig it. I dig it. I'm voting for that one right now. So, okay. Well, on to some good ones now. My first one for New Year's resolution is focus. And it seems really simple, but it's actually based in science, and was inspired from the LinkedIn's Buyer First Sales study, right? And the most desired attribute from buyers and what they're looking for sellers is active listening. They want to be heard. They want to be paid attention to. And so I've been thinking just throughout 2020, seeing people on Zoom call after Zoom call, you can tell when people aren't actually focusing in on the conversation. Like, you can tell when people are literally slacking somebody else. They're online. You can see the color of blue from Facebook. You can see the orange from Reddit. You can see all of this. And that impacts your ability to listen to the customer, provide obviously good service, good information, good value. But in addition to keeping your focus in your customer conversations, I'd also have people stay focused on what they're actually doing at hand. And I think one of the best things that sales professionals or revenue professionals can do is keep one tab open. So if you're working in your CRM, don't have LinkedIn open. If you're working in your email, don't have Facebook open, as an example. So keep one task at hand. That's what I have.
Surprised that you're people can even have Facebook open if they're working. Why should they even have Facebook? LinkedIn, I get, but
Uh, I'm a millennial. I don't get it, but people certainly do, Alex. We've seen
well,
that
I mean, I
in the
also don't have a
office.
Facebook, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so getting back to my punny resolutions, cross training, a little related to the lose weight, more on a functional or a team level, making
Yeah.
sure that your people are getting exposure to other functions within your organization, their processes, their success measures, what their meetings look like. It's going to help build some bonds in between your team, but at the same time, that more cohesive understanding of your revenue engine is always going to be beneficial to all parties. It helps people collaborate and coordinate, find opportunities to create more efficiencies, move things faster, update processes if things have changed on both sides of the fence. I think this is something that a lot of organizations miss out on. It's where you start to see marketing and sales organizations fight like cats and dogs. It's where sales might dump new opportunities on a success team or an implementation team. And those feelings are typically stemming from some sort of lack of understanding. It's that
Right.
they don't understand how things work on that person's team and that person's day-to-day within those processes, and they change all day, every day. It's difficult to keep up on those. So putting your team in situations in which they're empowered to cross-train across those different functions, across different teams, can help promote not only a more healthy culture across the organization, but then also you find little nuggets and ways to optimize things over time.
I really like that, right? The ability to cross train to find additional efficiencies. It's a really smart opportunity too. And much the same as in cross training and physical fitness, right? You're going to gain some efficiencies or gain some sort of advantage by entering new disciplines. So I certainly dig it. And I love the punny nature out.
Yeah, and if you just want to give up and not even go through your next two resolutions, it seems like you're voting for all of mine. I need to point that out.
I'm gonna stop being nice because I want to talk about real things like value. No, so this is, I think one of the hardest things that people, no, not hardest. Let me think about the way to put this. People dislike sales professionals because they don't lead with a value. That's both a statement for internal resources and external resources. Case in point, my least favorite sales email, just following up. New Year's resolution, stop that. Take that out of your repertoire, take that out of your quiver, just following up. Pisses everybody off, it adds no value. If you're waiting for them to sign the signature, instead of saying just following up on the signature, how can you actually make or add value around the signing event? It's a totally different proposition.
That's good. I like that. And I'm going to piggyback on this one. My least favorite sales email is, if you're not the right person, can you get me in touch with the person I should be talking to? Drives me insane. I think it stems from the same point of not providing value. It's, I didn't do my job effectively. I'm just distracting you from doing your job. So can you take time out of your day to help me do my job? That one drives me nuts. And it's another email that I would love to never see again in 2021.
Predictable revenue did so many great things for sales like a decade ago. And at the same time, so many,
there are ways to still apply that principle. And
yes.
I love predictable revenue, just as you do, but at the same time, just the direct copy and paste of that tactic from that book, it's
mind-boggling. The only other thing I would just pile on, it seems like you're coming around to my way of thinking, you're voting for value. I love it. The other thing, I mentioned both internal and external. I went right to the external, but the internal side, value. If you are going to meet with a colleague, provide value, give them an agenda, value. If you're going to send an invite to anybody, internal or external, provide an agenda so that people can actually contribute and add value to the meeting. I was on the phone with a customer recently, Alex, and we had no agendas. We were just invited. And I didn't know how I can contribute or prepare for that meeting. And I honestly felt for 30 minutes that everybody in that call was just trying to figure out what the purpose was. And if we already had an agenda, we could have had some serious things, serious benefits come out of that meeting. So that's my last thing on value.
So that makes sense. That's when you are on Facebook on calls.
Totally.
All right, so this is my last one. I couldn't make save work. I feel like saving more money is one of those tried and true New Year's resolutions. So instead, I changed it to invest. And where I've talked about kind of organizational opportunities and functional opportunities, team opportunities through my other resolutions, this one is more of an individual resolution. So invest in yourself. And I think the easiest way to invest in yourself is to read. The teams that I've had, much to their dismay, they'll know that I'll come up to them and I will ask them what they're reading. And it can be in the morning while they're making coffee. It can be during lunch or the end of the day, end of the week happy hour. And I want to know what they're reading. Reading the news is fine. Reading articles is fine. Reading fiction is fine. I think those are still investments in yourself. What I'm really looking for is that people are investing in themselves by reading relevant and timely material as it relates to their role. This doesn't mean the salespeople just read sales books or marketing people just read marketing books.
Right.
I think it's great for professionals to, again, cross-train in the way that they're investing in themselves, having salespeople read marketing books, kind of everybody reading general business books, but there are also good concepts that you can get out of organizational structure books, out of psychology or sociology books. It's a great way to hone your craft and take something from a different domain, a different expertise, something that is cross-training or cross-discipline, and apply it into your own world for additive success. I think as a leader, this is also a big thing for me. If I ask somebody how they're investing in themselves, and if they're not, that's probably not somebody that's super interested in their role, super interested in their career progression. And that has an impact as people look to kind of grow and develop, and how you invest in them in kind. So make sure that you're investing in yourself, because it makes it a lot easier for others to invest in you.
See, we've talked about this before, and you're just talking about, and I really appreciate this, the cross-training, connecting this back into reading and self-investment, right? If you're in sales, read marketing, read about service, read about something tangentially related, or in business or not. We've talked about this, our favorite non-revenue books and how they could and should be applied. I think if people want to hear that or see that in a vlog coming up, they should comment and let us know below, and we should certainly go for that. The last one for me, one healthy habit. So every year I try to introduce a new healthy habit, both personally and professionally. It's interesting, 2020 threw my professional habits for kind of a loop last year. And then I ultimately refounded them as we started FSP together. But on the one healthy habit, personally, professionally, as an example, I would hope that you start creating a habit around your personal weaknesses. And I think one of the best things, a best healthy habit, I'm just going to prescribe it to most revenue engineers, revenue individuals out there, is people put off what they don't like doing or what they're afraid of doing. And so what I would challenge people this year to do moving in 2021 is, what do you like doing least? And prioritizing that first in your day as far as being a revenue engineer. There was a distinct period of time where I went through, believe it or not, Alex, reluctance to get back and do a lot of cold calling. I was in a role in which I had to do a lot of cold calling. While I feel I'm very good at it, I know I'm actually very good at it, I just didn't have a lot of success. And so I actually had to prioritize every day, just getting up 6:30 Mountain to do Eastern time cold calls. And so that was my one healthy habit for myself professionally, to get back into the seat, just get it out of the way. So ripping that Band-Aid off, getting the thing I was looking to forward the least right out of my way in my day. And if I had success with it, totally change the landscape of my day. So that's the one thing I would have people do, is focus on one healthy habit. And that healthy habit should be something you personally do not want to do, that you know can provide some sort of benefit. So that's it.
So to be clear, it's the eating the sales vegetables or the revenue vegetables first.
Exactly, right?
Making
so
sure you're clearing your plate before you're moving on to the dessert.
That's exactly it. We're eating our Brussels sprouts, we're eating our lima beans, we're eating our spinach before we're gonna go have those amazing cookies.
I love lima beans and spinach. Anyway, well, this is fun. I like the format. I like the quick prep and everything. Thank you,
Yeah,
Andrew, for putting this together.
I
Appreciate
like
it.
this. I like this too. I'd love some more feedback. This felt good. So what I would ask is that if you enjoyed this video, you're going to see some buttons around us: like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your children. We don't really care. This is something new. We're trying it out there.
You
Give
know how
us
much children love revenue videos and content.
you know, we'll have to talk about that at a later time and date, because as a girl dad, I can already tell you that the best sales professional that I've probably met is a 3-year-old named Hazel. So
Yeah, she's going to be the Tiger Woods of selling.
it's terrifying. Well, thank you, everybody. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We really appreciate it. Take care.